The scandalous truth behind King Charles' infamous interview. How he admitted it all. King Charles' 1994 infidelity confession. The British monarchy is no stranger to controversy, but one moment that shook the royal family to its core was King Charles' bombshell 1994 interview with journalist Jonathan Dimbleby. During the televised special, King Charles made a shocking confession about his infidelity while married to Princess Diana, leaving everyone stunned. But why, after years of silence, did he openly discuss the most scandalous chapter of his life? What led him to confess? What were the consequences of his actions? What were the political and personal pressures at play? Was this a desperate attempt to save his image, or was it something much more calculated? Join us in this video as we uncover 20 of the most scandalous truths behind this infamous interview, the fallout that followed, and how it forever changed the public's view of the royal family. You don't want to miss this. Number 1. The context. King Charles and Princess Diana's troubled marriage. By 1994, the marriage between King Charles and Princess Diana had become one of the most dissected unions in history. What began as a fairy tale, capturing the imagination of millions around the world, had unraveled into a very public tragedy. Their relationship was fraught with tension, with the cracks becoming visible even before their iconic wedding in 1981. Over time, the couple's incompatibilities, from their age difference to their starkly different personalities, became impossible to ignore. Rumors of infidelity plagued their marriage on both sides. King Charles' long-standing friendship with Camilla Parker Bowles became a source of friction early on, while Princess Diana's relationships outside the marriage also fueled headlines. Publicly, the couple maintained appearances, but privately they lived separate lives. By the early 1990s, their differences were no longer secrets, and the strain became visible to everyone, including the press. As the world watched their marriage deteriorate, the monarchy faced unprecedented scrutiny. King Charles and Princess Diana's union symbolized not just personal heartbreak, but also the growing challenges of modernizing the royal institution. Number 2. The build-up to the infamous interview. By the mid-1990s, the media's obsession with King Charles and Princess Diana's unraveling marriage had reached a fever pitch. Paparazzi swarmed their every move, and every whispered rumor was amplified into front-page news. Both King Charles and Princess Diana began addressing their personal struggles indirectly, hinting at deeper issues during interviews and public appearances. Princess Diana's revealing comments in her 1992 biography by Andrew Morton, in which she spoke candidly about her struggles with bulimia and loneliness, had already sent shockwaves through the royal family. Meanwhile, King Charles faced growing pressure to reshape his public image. For years, he'd been portrayed as cold and detached, a stark contrast to Princess Diana's warmth and relatability. By 1994, King Charles decided to take matters into his own hands. The goal was to present himself as a complex human figure, someone grappling with personal challenges but still dedicated to his royal duties. Little did he know, this attempt to gain public sympathy would backfire spectacularly. Number 3. King Charles' decision to go public with Jonathan Dimbleby. King Charles' collaboration with journalist Jonathan Dimbleby was meant to be a turning point. The televised documentary King Charles, The Private Man, The Public Role aimed to showcase a side of King Charles that the public rarely saw. A thoughtful, introspective man, burdened by the weight of royal expectations. Dimbleby, a respected journalist, was given unprecedented access to King Charles' private life, making the documentary one of the most intimate royal portrayals to date. But the interview took a shocking turn. Instead of merely addressing his struggles in vague terms, King Charles chose to confront the rumors head-on. When asked about his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, King Charles admitted to being unfaithful to Princess Diana. However, he insisted this only happened after their marriage had irretrievably broken down. This confession marked a stunning departure from royal tradition, where discretion and silence about personal matters were paramount. While King Charles may have hoped for understanding, his candor opened the floodgates for criticism, leaving the monarchy's reputation more vulnerable than before. Number 4. The scandalous moment. King Charles admits his affair with Camilla. The pivotal moment of the Dimbleby interview came when King Charles was directly questioned about his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles. For years, the British public had speculated about the depth of their connection, but no royal had ever confirmed it. King Charles' confession was both calculated and shocking. He admitted to committing adultery, but framed it as a consequence of his failing marriage to Princess Diana. He described the situation with a tone of regret, as though trying to justify his actions without explicitly apologizing. This moment was groundbreaking. The monarchy had always operated under a veil of discretion, avoiding public discussions of personal issues at all costs. King Charles' confession shattered that precedent. His words were not just a confession, but a direct acknowledgement of the royal family's imperfections. While some admired his honesty, many others were appalled. For a future king to be openly admitting to such a scandalous act was unprecedented, and it left an indelible stain on his public image. Number 5. The immediate public reaction to the confession. The public's reaction to King Charles' confession was swift and overwhelmingly negative. Many felt betrayed by the man who was supposed to embody the ideals of honor and integrity as the heir to the throne. Sympathy for Princess Diana, already widespread, surged in the wake of King Charles' confession. Her image as the wronged wife contrasted sharply with King Charles' portrayal as a man who'd strayed from his marital vows. Tabloids had a field day, with the headlines condemning King Charles and scrutinizing every word of the interview. Public opinion polls showed a significant decline in King Charles' popularity, with many questioning his suitability to become king. The revelation also exposed deeper issues within the monarchy itself, as it struggled to reconcile its traditional values with the modern world's demand for transparency. For King Charles, this moment marked a turning point, not just in his personal life, but in the public's perception of him as a leader. Number 6. How the confession impacted King Charles' image. King Charles' confession of infidelity had a profound and lasting impact on his public image. For decades, they'd struggled to connect with the British people, often coming across as aloof and unrelatable. The Dimbleby interview was meant to humanize him, but instead, it reinforced negative perceptions. Many viewed King Charles as a flawed and selfish figure, prioritizing his desires over his duties and the well-being of his family. At the same time, Princess Diana's image soared. Her vulnerability and openness resonated deeply with the public, making King Charles' actions appear even more unforgivable. The contrast between Princess Diana's warmth and King Charles' perceived coldness became a defining narrative. This shift in public sentiment had long-term implications, as King Charles spent years trying to repair his reputation and redefine his role within the monarchy. The confession not only changed how the public viewed him, but also set the stage for a more open, scrutinized royal family in the years to come. Number 7. The role of Camilla Parker Bowles in the public backlash. King Charles' confession not only tarnished his own reputation, but also thrust Camilla Parker Bowles into the harsh glare of public scrutiny. Although she'd long been a subject of speculation, the confession confirmed her role in King Charles' life, leading to a storm of criticism. Many unfairly branded Camilla as the third party who'd ruined King Charles and Princess Diana's marriage. Tabloids painted her as a homewrecker, and public sentiment towards her was overwhelmingly negative. For Camilla, this period was nothing short of a public relations nightmare. She faced intense scrutiny, her every move analyzed and criticized by a public that saw her as a villain in the royal love triangle. The backlash was so severe that it would take years and a carefully orchestrated campaign by the royal family to rehabilitate her image. Today, Camilla holds a more accepted place within the monarchy, but in 1994, the fallout from King Charles' confession left her as one of the most vilified figures in royal history. Number 8. The strain on the royal family's image. King Charles' confession not only tarnished his individual reputation, but also shook the very foundation of the monarchy. For centuries, the British royal family had carefully curated an image of moral integrity and unwavering duty, one that distanced them from the personal dramas of ordinary citizens. King Charles' confession shattered this facade, exposing the human flaws of the future king and, by extension, the institution he represented. Queen Elizabeth II, known for her discretion and commitment to upholding tradition, was reportedly deeply displeased. The monarchy's unwritten rule of keeping private matters private had been blatantly disregarded. This breach of protocol raised concerns about the institution's ability to maintain dignity and relevance in a rapidly changing world. Public trust in the monarchy, already fragile due to the unfolding royal drama, took another significant hit. For the royal family, King Charles' confession was a wake-up call. It signaled the need for a more modern and transparent approach to public relations. Though such changes would take years to implement, the scandal also highlighted the monarchy's vulnerability to the pressures of media scrutiny and public opinion, setting the stage for further challenges in the years to come. Number 9. Princess Diana's response to King Charles' confession. Princess Diana's response to King Charles' public confession was both subtle and powerful. While she didn't address the confession directly at first, her actions and statements in the months that followed made her feelings unmistakably clear. Most famously in her 1995 Panorama interview with Martin Bashir, Princess Diana delivered a devastatingly candid assessment of her marriage, stating,
"Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded."
Her words resonated deeply with the public, further cementing her image as the wronged and vulnerable party in the royal love triangle. Unlike King Charles, who came across as defensive and awkward in his interview, Princess Diana's openness and emotional candor won widespread sympathy. She positioned herself as a woman trapped in a loveless marriage, struggling against the constraints of royal life while still trying to fulfill her role as a mother and public figure. Princess Diana's interview also revealed the depth of her pain and disillusionment, casting a harsh light on the institution of the monarchy itself. Her willingness to speak out was seen as both brave and rebellious, earning her admiration, but also further straining her already fraught relationship with the royal family. In many ways, Princess Diana's response overshadowed King Charles' confession, shifting the narrative decisively in her favor. Number 10. The interviewer's role in leading to King Charles and Princess Diana's divorce. King Charles' public confession was a tipping point in the unraveling of his marriage to Princess Diana. While the couple had been separated since 1992, the Dimbleby interview made reconciliation all but impossible. By openly admitting to his infidelity, King Charles effectively ended any hope of repairing their relationship, both privately and in the eyes of the public. The fallout from the interview added urgency to the divorce proceedings, as the royal family sought to contain the damage to its image. In 1996, King Charles and Princess Diana officially divorced, bringing an end to one of the most tumultuous chapters in modern royal history. The divorce was a landmark moment, signaling a shift in how the monarchy dealt with personal crises. For Princess Diana, the divorce provided a degree of freedom and independence, allowing her to redefine her role as a public figure. For King Charles, it marked the beginning of a long and difficult journey to rebuild his reputation. The interview's role in precipitating the divorce cannot be overstated. It forced both King Charles and Princess Diana to confront the reality of their failed marriage in the most public way possible. Number 11. The media frenzy that followed. The aftermath of King Charles' confession unleashed a media storm of unprecedented intensity. Tabloids dissected every detail of the Dimbleby interview, from King Charles' choice of words to his body language. Speculation about the implications of the monarchy dominated headlines, and public discourse around the royal family reached a fever pitch. The media's fixation on the scandal extended beyond King Charles and Princess Diana, pulling Camilla Parker Bowles and other members of the royal family into the spotlight. Paparazzi relentlessly pursued everyone involved, exacerbating tensions and fueling further public outrage. For weeks, the confession was the subject of endless debate on television, radio, and in print, with commentators weighing in on everything from King Charles' suitability as king to the monarchy's ability to weather the crisis. This media frenzy not only amplified the scandal, but also highlighted the growing challenges the royal family faced in managing their public image. The relentless scrutiny underscored the need for the monarchy to adapt to an era of 24/7 news coverage and unrelenting public interest in their private lives. Number 12. The impact on King Charles' relationship with the British public. King Charles' confession significantly damaged his standing with the British public. For years, he'd struggled to win the affection and respect of his future subjects, and the confession only deepened the divide. Many viewed him as untrustworthy and self-serving, qualities unbecoming of a future monarch. Public opinion polls conducted in the wake of the interview revealed a sharp decline in King Charles' popularity. Meanwhile, Princess Diana's star continued to rise, with many seeing her as the true people's princess. This stark contrast between the two further complicated King Charles' efforts to repair his image. Over time, King Charles began to focus on his charitable work and environmental advocacy in an attempt to reconnect with the public. While these efforts have gradually improved his reputation, the shadow of his 1994 confession has lingered, shaping the way many perceive him to this day. Number 13. The shifting public perception of the royal family. King Charles' confession marked a turning point in the public's relationship with the royal family. For generations, the monarchy had been seen as a symbol of stability and moral authority. But the scandals of the 1990s, starting with King Charles and Princess Diana's troubled marriage, shattered this idealized image. The public began to demand greater transparency and accountability from the royal family, expecting them to be more relatable and less remote. While this shift made the monarchy appear more human, it also left them more vulnerable to criticism. The balance between tradition and modernity became a central challenge for the institution, one that continues to shape its evolution today. Number 14. The confession's influence on future royals and their personal lives. King Charles' 1994 confession set a precedent for how future royals would navigate public discussions of their personal lives. It signaled a shift towards greater openness, albeit one fraught with risks. Younger royals like William and Harry have since adopted a more transparent approach, sharing personal struggles and advocating for causes like mental health awareness. This new openness reflects changing societal expectations, but also carries its own challenges. The lessons of King Charles' experience remain relevant, serving as a cautionary tale about the consequences of revealing too much too soon. Number 15. The long-term impact on King Charles' legacy. King Charles' 1994 confession of infidelity didn't just cause a temporary public relations storm. It became a defining moment in his legacy, one that would linger over his path to kingship. At the time, the admission amplified widespread criticism of King Charles as the future monarch, with many questioning whether he had the moral fortitude and judgment to lead a centuries-old institution. For years, this moment haunted his reputation, overshadowing his work and casting a long shadow over his relationship with the public. However, over time, King Charles worked diligently to reshape his legacy. His deep commitment to causes such as environmental conservation, sustainable agriculture, and social programs gradually helped the public see him as more than just a man defined by personal scandal. His actions reflected a sense of duty and foresight that aligned with the evolving needs of the modern world, earning him respect even from critics. His marriage to Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005 marked a turning point. After years of vilification, their union was cautiously accepted by the public, aided by the couple's low-key and earnest approach. Camilla's growing involvement in charitable work and her steadfast support for King Charles played a significant role in softening her image and, by extension, improving his standing with the British people. The confession also had a broader cultural impact. It helped humanize the monarchy, presenting the royals as individuals with personal struggles and flaws. While this initially damaged their aura of perfection, it also made them more relatable, a quality that younger royals like Prince William and Prince Harry would later embrace. Looking back, King Charles' candid admission was both a curse and a lesson. It marked a period of deep unpopularity, but also opened the door for the monarchy to evolve. As King Charles, he carries the weight of that controversial moment, but it also serves as a testament to his resilience. He's shown that a public figure, even one as scrutinized as a royal, can recover from missteps and shape a legacy built on growth, responsibility, and commitment to a changing world. Prince Charles' 1994 confession wasn't just a personal revelation. It changed the monarchy forever. But here's the big question. Was his public admission an act of bravery, or did it cause more harm than good for the royal family? We'd love to hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video got you hooked, don't forget to like it, share it with those who might find it interesting, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping video content like this one. And here's a challenge for you. Hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to catch our next big royal reveal. Who knows what secrets we'll uncover next? Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye!